So guys, very disappointing night for Jordan Gill. This is a guy that, Eddie Hearn had very high hopes for, very hot prospect. And you know what? It's really, with these young guys, it's really interesting because a lot of these young guys that are coming through, that Eddie Hearn's bringing through, have lost lately. And that's not Eddie Hearn's. That's not Eddie Hearn's fault. It's obviously these guys are going in the ring and fighting. It's on them. But I think what's happening now, it's a lot more difficult to build a fighter because of the pressure from the fans. They want to see these guys put into stern tests right away. Where back in the day, a lot of these guys would just be fighting a lot of chicken feed until they felt like they were ready. But now, because of the fact that the broadcasters putting so much pressure and the fans as well, a lot of these guys are being put into fights early. And they're being exposed, a lot of them. So, like, we had Ted Cheeseman that was exposed. You could potentially say Anthony Fowler, although he was fighting a guy in around his level. And now we have Jordan Gill. There's been others as well. So, this fight with Jordan Gill, it was the guy Tinoco. It was Enrique Tinoco. He was a very, very tough man, a very, very strong guy. And he kind of bullied Gill. I think he put him down twice. And I think he hurt Jordan Gill to the body. And I think there was some damage. They were saying on commentary that I think he had broken a rib or there was something not right. Because whenever Tinoco was hitting him to the body, Gill was grimacing. So obviously that suggests that there was something not right. And he had been damaged. But again, as Matthew Macklin pointed out, the damage was caused by Tinoco. So, massive respect to Tinoco. He put on a great performance. Jordan Gill, it's a kind of a shock because, like I said, Eddie Hearn had very high hopes for Jordan Gill. And that probably won't sit well with him that he's ended up taking a loss. Jordan Gill is somebody that they, in the featherweight division, had very, very high hopes for. And this is a setback. Just like it was for Cheeseman, just like it was for Fowler. A lot of these young lions and young prospects that they think that are going to go on to achieve big things, a lot of them are taking L's. And like I've just explained earlier, is probably the reason why. A lot of these guys are being pushed into fights that are probably too early for them. And they're taking losses. Whereas back in the day, they probably would never have been pushed into those fights and they would have been given a much easier route. But because of the pressure from the broadcasters and the fans, these guys are taking risks. And some of them a lot of them are getting exposed, because Gill is somebody, like Eddie Hearn said prior to this fight, said that he's very talented and he's going to kick on and go on to the world scene quite quick. Well, he's been exposed levels below that. So, and the featherweight division is a very strong division. But like I said, these guys are young. This is a learning experience. Sometimes defeat's not the worst thing. It's not great, but it's not the worst thing, because then they know that they still got to improve. They know that they still got to get better. If he had smashed through this guy in 2-3 rounds, he would have thought he's God's gift. Whereas now he knows that he's got to continue working hard and he's got to continue improving because he's not as good as what he probably thought. But like I said, the guy that he was fighting was very tough, he was very good, and he was very strong as well. He was in his face, he was not giving him much space. So, that skill that Jordan Gill's got, he was kind of negating it a little. So, but this is what happens when you step up the levels. It becomes much tough. It becomes a lot tougher, and hopefully now Jordan Gill's got a good trainer in his corner. They can work on his mistakes, improve him as a fighter, and then come back stronger. Defeats happen in careers, in boxing careers. It's a tough sport. It's very difficult to stay undefeated. You will eventually take L's, but it's how you come back from them L's. Amir Khan got knocked out to Bradis Prescott, and 2 fights later he was world champion. Of course, Amir Khan had a lot of talent and he was very skilled. But so does this guy, Jordan Gill. So there's nothing to say that he can't come back. I'm not saying after 2 fights he's going to be world champion, but he can definitely come back and, compete at a high level. But, it's how they bounce back from defeat. It's how mentally strong you are to bounce back from defeat. Because when you lose, your confidence, everything has been knocked for six. So you need to come back. You need to show mental toughness. Training is going to be hard because you'll be demotivated after losing. You'll be dejected. But it's how you come back, how mentally strong you are, and that's when your people around you, his coach Dave Colwell, how they manage the situation, because he has got ability and talent, but like I said, not everybody with ability and a talent goes on to achieve big things. So hopefully Jordan Gill can bounce back. What did you guys make of his performance? What did you make of Tinoco's performance? A great performance. Leave your thoughts, guys, in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.